If your production colleagues don't like 5S, you are doing it wrong. Hello, I'm Tom. Welcome to my channel where we make operational excellence practical. And let's take a hot topic from operational excellence, which is 5S. It is such a foundational system. The way to organize your workplace according to your workflow, right? We're going to be sorting, we're going to be standardizing, we're going to be cleaning stuff, but this is not a cleaning program, and that has been said, well, not often enough, but not often enough, apparently, because I still get to so many companies where 5S is sort of seen as the clean your machine type of program. While we will be cleaning those machines, that is not what it's about. So let's go into why do your colleagues hate 5S? Well, if they do, how to prevent that from happening, even better, but definitely how to make sure that whatever you do in the 5S journey from today forward is going to help people do their job, and that will motivate them. Now, why is this such a thing? Right? What I see very often is that we do very nice 5S. We've got quite literally the red tape on the floor, on desks, on boards, outlining where we need to be. But that also makes the red tape, as in way too much bureaucracy, rules that not there to help people, but they're there to help people, but not the people doing the work. They're there to help auditability and stuff like that. So what I see quite often, very nice, very good looking shadow boards. The symbol of 5S, right? Lines on the ground, shadow boards next to the lines. And we've got a nice whole set of Allen keys and a bunch of screwdrivers. We got all of the cleaning tools you need for the line on this one nice little board. Color-coded, shadows on it, little labels. Thing looks perfect. It's very auditable, it's very visible. We can see when things are missing, we absolutely know where our tools are. But then, in practice, we've got a huge line with the one shadow board here, because that was the free place or the easy to see place, or that's where the computer is as well. And where do we need this stuff? Well, everywhere. And how often do we need it? Well, here quite a lot, because stuff keeps falling off the line, or it's just a point that you need to adjust or clean or whatever quite often. But the tools need to go back there. Such things, they are the symptom of the core problem that I see in 5S, which is making 5S for having it beautiful, for the organization, the auditability, instead of for optimizing the workflow of the person doing the work. Because that is what 5S is really about. And that is difficult, right? That requires you to understand the process that you're doing. But that's also the brilliance of 5S. So a good 5S program can be, it can be almost your entire operational excellence program, at least the practical side of things. Good 5S, it can take you from zero to, well, maybe not world class, let's call it Europe class then. Right? It can take you to a really good state if you 5S in the correct way. If you check and really learn and really understand what are the processes that we are doing. You map out your processes. You check how easy it is to do them. You check where do I need to move, which tools do I need, which materials do I need, how can I supply those materials easily to the line, not have too many, but have it nicely linked to the consumption pattern of the line, make sure that it's where the operator needs it, easy in-feed, easy out-feed. Have the whole process work without too much communication, right? You sort of visualize the communication and standardize in such a way that you don't need to be coordinating everything the whole time by thinking about it and then calling other people. It's a system that sort of works. Everybody can do their own thing in their own work flow. Really make that flow. Where you need your tools, you have them. You can use it. You probably do not work an assembly line. You probably have a bit of a combo of in the factory, but a lot of desk job as well, right? Have you ever complained about your laptop being slow or Teams not working in the central meeting room, right? Then you know what you're doing to your operator, your production colleagues, when you put in place all kinds of these restrictive systems. When you put plastic mopping tins in there that just break when you put them into a line or when you step on them once. Or all kinds of tools that are just designed for colorful and beautiful, but not for the actual work they do. And so in some lines, absolutely okay to have not low quality cleaning tools, but I mean to have the lighter cleaning tools, because basically what you do is really light. But in other industry where you'll be scraping up heavy stuff when you have abrasive stuff from time to time, you need to have tools that can also handle that. You need to have hooks on these bloody shadow boards that can actually handle the wear and tear of putting brooms in there, in and out. Those little rubbery things, the grippers, they are really nice when they're new. But when they break, I just see them hanging everywhere. I think, oh, is that the state of your 5S, right? Even the shadow board looks like it's been sort of placed there 10 years ago and never maintained. Well, probably because it was never maintained. Such things, super important. Think of your own slow laptop, right? The other thing is, you need to know what you're doing there. And that also goes to which tools do you actually need? I mean, I often see a full set of Allen keys, a full set of screwdrivers, a full set of keys in general, right? And then I ask, okay, so do you actually use Allen keys 4 and 8 on this line? And they're like, no, there's a 6 in some places and then there's the 10 in other places. And basically the only 2 you need. So what do you have a set that goes up to 14, starts at 4, right? And also, where do you need them? Can you not put those closer to where you need them? If you use them relatively often. A good 5S implementation has systems for that, right? When we sort our tools, we do also check, which ones do we need? Which ones do we need? How often? Stuff you need a couple of times within a shift, basically you sort of continuously need it. You want to have that under hand, right? It needs to be within grabbing distance of where you need it. If you need them here, 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 and here, yeah, well then probably you need to place 4 of them, 1 in each of those locations, because otherwise people need to take them along with them. Now, taking a few tools along with you might be okay, might be, probably already not with the stuff that's usually on a shadow board, but placing it on multiple parts of your machine, absolutely fine. Removing stuff that's not needed for your machine anyway, the same, absolutely fine. Stuff that you need, maybe once a day, once a weekish, yeah, put that on a central board. Now, another part that, and if you follow my channel, you will have seen me complain about the shadow. I love shadow boards, but I see that it comes from a place of love that I complain about them. You see me complain about them because so many problems happen there, so many mistakes are made. Another big one, if we have a material place, right? So we need to put 4 pallets of packaging materials there. Now, it's very nicely aligned with the line, it's got the 4 places, it's in a nice and tight space, looks brilliant, put lines on the floor, everything's audit ready and looking great. But then we see that people are not really using them. Then we see that the pallets are sort of placed like this. And they're using 3 out of the 4. It's sort of put there, more or less. Now, we start wondering, can our forklift drivers not see colored lines on the floor? Are they a bit daft, maybe? No. This almost certainly comes from something else. If we trace these lines, we see that our forklift probably came from here, right? So they probably came in from here, drove over, and it's very difficult for them to make this turn. But why do they need to be straight? Right? Just because you like it more? 5S is about the workflow. Now, of course, it has to be safe, it has to be efficient. There are some balances here, but why not make the spaces more or less like this? Probably you want to move this up, but even then, it depends on your space. So look at how stuff gets in and out. Now, if you formalize this, and I've been in only a few, I've been in one factory where they literally did this. That was a factory that was super high already in autonomous maintenance. That was a factory that was thinking about their processes. They put it in. They had very nice colored lines and zones and very clean lines everywhere. They were the ones who put the nice stuff, the crooked things in. And they got, and they were part of a large company, they got sort of the operational excellence team from the global departments. They came over and from other factories, and they got realized, well, why are those pallet places so skewed and sort of ugly, right, on the floor? That was the idea. Why are the lines not straight? And their production manager said, well, this is basically the only way a forklift can easily get in there. It saves a lot of space, makes it very clear where they have to be. We can easily manage where they are. So this aligns with their workflow. Like, and you just see the light bulbs go on. Luckily, in many of the operational excellence specialists, professionals, a couple of them, they kept saying that it was sort of an ugly way to write it there, which honestly to me said, those are not going to make it. Those are not the operational excellence leads I want in my team. Now, really nice. So that is what good 5S does, right? Where do you use it? Make sure that part of this goes over there, right? Where we use it, part of this just goes out. And that is all based on what is the job we're doing? Which process are we thinking about? Are we working on? How do we work in that process? Right? 5S is mainly about the person working in the process. You can 5S stuff in the automation, yes, but 5S is about the person, persons working the process, but also that forklift driver, but especially the operator, the helpers, everybody walking around, and including the supervisor, but not on the first place, everybody who interacts with this process. What is an ideal workflow for them? How can we make sure that the workplace, the surroundings, optimally support the flow of work through that workplace? Now that requires a lot of process knowledge. Right? That requires going and analyzing what's happening here. What is keeping people back? Where can we shave off a couple of seconds? Where can we shave off so many meters or feet that you're walking? Right? How can we make it easier? Do we need to double on a couple of controls, on a couple of tools? Do we need to make skewed forklift places? Do we need to remove some of the stuff here? All those things. Do you now see why I said in the beginning of the video that if you really treat 5S as serious a program as it really is, this is the full foundation of your operational excellence program. This is so strong if you do it with the broader scope that 5S deserves. I mean, you can just do your first 2 or so years of continuous improvement just doing 5S. This will lean the crap out of your organization because you're constantly thinking about what's needed, what's optimal, how do I run my processes, standardizing things, making things auditable, cleaning up things, making it safe. Everything's in here. Right? We don't need a 6th S for safety. Now, if you do 5S correctly, safety's in there, quality's in there, productivity's in there. If you have an optimal workplace, you're going to get optimal results. And it gives you such a good foundation for, let's say, the Six Sigma type of real process improvement, right? Which settings, which pressures and materials, and how do we make the line optimal? How do we make the process optimal? The lean stuff of how do we pull product through our entire production process as quickly as possible, create a very nice output, but also a nice and short lead time, stuff like that. Oh man, that builds so strongly upon having an organized workplace. So yeah, that's if you want to make 5S the thing that your colleagues love, especially the production colleagues, rethink what you're doing. I'm not saying you're doing 5S wrong, but I am saying that many clients I work with have a malfunctioning 5S. So the chance that your organization is picking up 5S incorrectly is unfortunately pretty high. So open your eyes for these symptoms and really be critical of yourself and your organization. Are we doing 5S to optimize the workflow for my people around their processes? Or are we making nice auditable signs that have fancy colors? So I hope that this triggered something in you that you now want to go into your factory and give it a new boost. If it did that, don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know in the comments which 5S tips and tops do you have, right? Which questions about, Tom, how can I work with this? I see a problem in the 5S organization or in the theory, or how to implement. I love those questions. But also, if you have a great 5S experience, share it with me, share it with the world. We all like success stories because we learn from each other. So, take that step, get out of your shell, share your successes, but also share the difficulties with the world, with me, and I will give you a nice response on it. For now, I hope that you did enjoy this, that you go back into your organization and get that 5S going. And don't forget to always enjoy the continuous improvement journey.